Dillon Gabriel has broken his silence about Joe Flacco being traded, and he has some things to talk about with Shedeur. And there's some more Cleveland Browns drama, dog. And in words of Coach Prime, we don't really care about the Cleveland Browns, but we do care about Shedeur. So we finna report on this whole situation. So we all know Joe Flacco got the boot of a lifetime, man. They got him the hell out of Dodge in Cleveland and sent him up the road to Cincinnati. Well, I guess what? I am here to tell you that Dillon Gabriel broke his silence about the matter, and he had a lot of stuff to say, man. Let's check out.
Dillon Gabriel went from grinning in practice pics to quietly Googling how to handle competition politely. Why? Because Shedeur Sanders just swaggered into that QB2 spot like he's been there all along. And with Joe Flacco traded, the locker room energy flipped fast, side eyes, flexing playbooks, and a whole lot of nervous laughter. Did Shedeur just upend the whole depth chart before week 1? Oh yeah, things just got spicy. Buckle up, this season's already wild.
How'd you find out? What was your reaction? You heard that Joe was traded yesterday.
Yeah, found out we had, a QB meeting, got to talk to Joe right before he was heading out. But like I said before, I appreciate him. He's, a part of the journey, and this journey for me individually in the NFL. So grateful for him, and wish him the best of luck for sure.
How much of a shock was it for you?
I'm not surprised by anything at this point in the NFL.
If you're enjoying, please subscribe to the channel. It helps more than you think. Dillon Gabriel just learned the hard way, never underestimate Deion Sanders' son. Shedeur's got a cannon arm, a highlight reel that runs longer than most careers, and confidence loud enough to fill a stadium. Lesson of the day? Bloodlines matter, and Shedeur's here to prove it.
How many games will Dillon Gabriel last?
It depends on how he plays, obviously. And I thought he played decent in the other day against the Vikings. I really did. And I know I watched the show, and I know you guys were back and forth. He did. To be a rookie, to go overseas, to play in that environment, to make your first start.
Have you ever played abroad?
I never played, but I was a backup when we went abroad.
Yes, it's a lot. It's hell,
tough.
man. I'm telling you.
And on top of that,
you're how long you've been playing? That's a hellacious schedule.
A Brian Flores defense, and that's no easy task.
4 months, everyone laughed off the idea of Shedeur Sanders making it to the big league. They called him overhyped, unproven, and just his father's shadow. Well, those laughs just died down fast, because Shedeur Sanders is now QB2 for the Cleveland Browns, standing one locker away from replacing Dillon Gabriel.
Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders should get every single snap in practice. You know why? Because in July and August, we had this dumb quarterback competition with 4 quarterbacks, and it stunted the growth of Dillon Zappy. Look, I'm getting them all mixed up between Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders because they had to share snaps with Kenny Pickett.
Oh, how the tables have turned. This was meant to be Dillon Gabriel's breakout season, a chance to lead, impress, and quiet every critic in sight. Instead, he's the one nervously checking his phone at midnight, praying the depth chart still has his name above Shedeur Sanders come morning.
Shedeur is way better than Dillon Gabriel. He just is. If Shedeur had started from the start, game 1 against Cincinnati at home, they would be the talk of the NFL right now because I look at the fourth quarter yesterday, they go 0 for 4 on 3rd down because Dillon was playing not to lose. Don't throw it to them, don't put it on the ground. And he did a great job of that. But on one of those 3rd downs, you have to try to make a play to win the football game. And trust me, no matter what Stefanski called, Shedeur would try to win the football game because it's how he was raised. You're going to make a play because you were born to make a play.
Let's not grade.
You can almost feel the tension crackling through the locker room because Shedeur Sanders' presence alone has flipped the entire atmosphere. The cameras can't get enough of him, the fans already adore him, and the coaches light up every time he drops back and delivers a flawless spiral. It's like the Browns suddenly remembered what charisma and confidence look like in a quarterback. And let's be real, the fan base smells blood in the water. They've seen Shedeur do the impossible, clutch throws under pressure, clockwork drives, and that unshakable poise that turns chaos into control. They've watched his college highlights enough to know what's coming next. And the whispers are getting louder. Dillon Gabriel's in trouble. Not a little trouble, either, the kind that makes every practice rep feel like an audition. Because ever since Joe Flacco got traded, the energy shifted instantly. What used to be a relaxed QB2 spot is now the hottest competition in the league. Everyone expected a quiet backup. Instead, Shedeur walked in with confidence dripping off him like sweat, grinning like he already knows how this story ends. You could see it on Gabriel's face, tight smiles, longer warm-ups, and that subtle panic behind his eyes. Translation? Dillon Gabriel has one job now: survive the Shedeur storm.
I agree with everything you said.
Okay.
My only concern, or what I believe is, it's really kind of going to come down to, because when you have a quarterback in, decisions are being made, not always just off the best thing for the team.
No.
It's almost like if them calls are coming from up top and Stefanski and that seat is getting hot and then that crowd is getting loud, we could see Shedeur sooner than the bye week.
Okay.
The best thing for him would be after the bye week, because I want it to be fair. Create something for him where now he has all of this time, because he's not going to leave and go. So he's going to be in that building because he's a football head. That's who he is.
Yeah.
So
Now let's talk about the trash talk, because that's where things really get interesting. Dillon Gabriel had his moment in the sun. A few clever digs, some not-so-subtle comments about earning your spot, maybe even a smirk or two for the cameras. That's fine when you're the only quarterback in town. But now? Every word he said is echoing back like karma running sprints at practice. Because Shedeur Sanders doesn't talk back, he lets his game do the talking. Perfect spirals, surgical precision, calm under chaos, that's how he answers every jab. And if you're Gabriel, you've got to be asking yourself how the script flipped so fast. 1 week you're the face of the team, cracking jokes at media day. The next, you're sharing a locker room with Deion Sanders' son, who's staring at you with the confidence of a man who's been here before. The fans can feel it. The players can feel it. In every poll, every highlight reel, every sideline conversation, Shedeur is already being called the future. And honestly, it's hard to argue. Deion didn't raise a backup. He raised a headline. He raised a leader. And right now, that energy is spreading through Cleveland like wildfire.
grade it fairly. That's all I'm saying.
I graded it fairly. Like,
you really want to, you said I want him to play bad so Shedeur could get
I do, but some teachers might want this kid to do bad, but when he turned that test in, she just got to grade that.
I believe Shedeur's better as well. But if we're going to grade, stop grading with bias.
All right,
Shedeur,
grading without bias. QBR for the game. Dillon Gabriel was a 38 on
He
scale of
had
0
a
to 100.
rookie after 3 days of
QBR
practice.
don't lie, man.
Doesn't lie.
Take the name off of it, bro. Just look at the numbers. The stats say the QBR was a 38.
You're talking to Mr. Take the name off of it. I'm the one who took Sanders off his jersey.
And Cleveland fans? They're eating this up like it's the comeback movie they've waited decades to see. For years, they've begged for a spark, someone young, fearless, and electric under center. And now, Shedeur Sanders has walked into town and given them exactly that. Every throw he makes feels cinematic, every practice rep plays like a teaser trailer for something huge. The energy around the Browns facility isn't just hype, it's belief. You can feel it building, humming, waiting for that first real chance. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel is doing his best to keep the smile steady. He's saying the right things, giving polite interviews, acting unfazed, but you can tell. It's eating at him. Because this isn't just about football anymore, it's about aura. You can't outshine a Sanders. You can't fake that kind of swagger. The Browns coaches, though? They've got to be quietly thrilled. This is competition at its finest, one quarterback fighting to prove he belongs, another stepping in like destiny just called his number. But there's a difference. Gabriel works hard. Shedeur ignites the room. He doesn't panic, doesn't fold. He turns pressure into performance, doubt into dominance. And now, with Flacco's trade cracking the door open, Shedeur Sanders looks ready to blow it off the hinges.
Myles Garrett just told the truth about Shedeur Sanders. And what he said has fans shocked. This might be the first time we've heard how the team really feels about Shedeur.
Shedeur Sanders, as a veteran, what's impressed you the most on how he's approached the game?
All the time he takes, showing up early. Coach's office is easily seen when you walk in the building, and almost every morning you see him in there, talking through plays, talking through schemes with coach, and making sure that he's ready for his moment when he gets called up. And I appreciate that level of maturity and attention to detail.
Let's not forget, this moment has been simmering since Shedeur Sanders' college days. Every snap, every viral highlight, every camera pan to Dillon on the sidelines in shades and swagger, it all built to this. The belief that Shedeur wasn't just another quarterback, but a movement. A generational story in motion. Built for the spotlight, raised for pressure, born to turn hype into headlines. And now, in the NFL, that prophecy is unfolding in real time. Somewhere, Deion Sanders is probably flashing that iconic grin, the one that says, "I told y'all." He's been saying it for years, and now everyone else is catching up. Because Shedeur isn't just a player, he's a phenomenon. He's the guy who makes defenders hesitate, fans believe, and the media scramble for soundbites. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel's living in the eye of the storm. Every throw, every drill, every practice rep is being magnified. His PR team's on high alert, because one off-target pass can spiral into a headline. A few weeks ago, it was Dillon's team. Now, it's when does Shedeur start? That's the power of momentum, and Shedeur's got it in spades. He doesn't just shift narratives, he rewrites them. The Browns haven't even named him starter, but the city's already buzzing, jerseys are mock-designed, and highlight reels are flooding TikTok. Every perfect spiral feels like destiny knocking. And every misstep from Dillon Gabriel just makes that knock louder. Because deep down, Cleveland fans already believe it, Deion was right. Shedeur Sanders isn't coming. He's arrived.
Myles Garrett just told the truth about Shedeur Sanders. And what he said has fans shocked. This might be the first time we've heard how the team really feels about Shedeur.
Shedeur Sanders, as a veteran, what's impressed you the most on how he's approached the game?
All the time he takes, showing up early. Coach's office is easily seen when you walk in the building, and almost every morning you see him in there, talking through plays, talking through schemes with coach, and making.
It's got to sting bad. After months of confident talk and easy swagger, Dillon Gabriel walked into that QB room believing he had time to get comfortable, to grow into the role. Now, every throw feels like a test, every glance from a coach feels like judgment. That's not just competition, it's psychological warfare. Because across the room stands Shedeur Sanders, cool as ice, smiling like he's already seen how this story ends. Shedeur doesn't need to talk trash, he radiates pressure. That calm smirk, that unshakable poise, it's unnerving. He's not just fighting for a position, he's building a legend. The fans feel it. The media can't look away. Even the defense practices harder when he's under center. When Shedeur steps on the field, the entire energy shifts, the receivers run cleaner routes, the coaches lean forward, and the air crackles with that rare, electric confidence. And it's driving Gabriel insane. Because how do you outwork someone who doesn't seem to be working against you, but simply above you? Shedeur moves, throws, and carries himself like QB1, the title just hasn't caught up yet. Dillon can shout plays, rally teammates, force smiles, but it's starting to look desperate. Meanwhile, Shedeur drops one perfect pass, and the whispers grow louder. It's not just competition, it's an effortless takeover in motion.
The Cincinnati Bengals have just traded with the Cleveland Browns to acquire Joe Flacco. Ladies and gentlemen, that has Dillon Gabriel, who didn't play that badly this past weekend, as your QB1 with, logically speaking, Shedeur Sanders moving up as your QB2.
And if you think this pressure is going anywhere, think again. From this point on, every sports show, every highlight reel, every trending tweet will feed the same narrative, Gabriel versus Shedeur. Every interception Dillon throws will cue up a split-screen shot of Shedeur on the sideline, grinning like Destiny's already chosen sides. Every wobbly pass will come with the same caption, maybe it's time. What makes it brutal is how inevitable it feels. Everyone sees what's coming, except Dillon. He's still putting on the brave face, pretending he's unfazed. But you can't fake calm when the guy behind you is a Sanders. They don't chase the spotlight, they are the spotlight. And this isn't some underdog fairy tale where Shedeur comes out of nowhere. He's been preparing for this moment his entire life. When Joe Flacco got traded, it wasn't coincidence, it was the universe clearing space. Dion's words about legacy and destiny aren't motivational speeches anymore, they're prophecy. Because Shedeur isn't built to hold a clipboard. He's built to lead, to command, to own the stage. And if Dillon doesn't sharpen up fast, he's about to become the first casualty in the rise of the next great name in football. You can already see it coming, that moment Shedeur steps in mid-game, the crowd erupts, commentators lose their minds, and the internet detonates. For most players, that's a dream. For Shedeur Sanders? That's just his next chapter.
The number 2. I feel good about this. I did not like Joe Flacco being the number 2 behind Dillon Gabriel as the number 1. It was stupid. It was dumb to me. It was absolutely dumb. It made no sense. Shedeur being the number 2 means there is a viable path to starting. Now, it might take an injury to Dillon Gabriel. We wish that upon no man. But at least there is a viable path to starting when Shedeur Sanders is the number 2. Now, Gabriel has more pressure on him, I would suggest, than any quarterback in football, which is the wildest thing to say for a rookie making his second start. Because Shedeur Sanders, one of the most popular quarterbacks in all of the NFL, is hovering behind you. And the world's favorite player is a backup quarterback.
And here's the irony, every cocky quip, every subtle jab, every smirk Dillon Gabriel dropped earlier this season is about to come back as the soundtrack to Shedeur Sanders' takeover montage. The internet never forgets, and karma? It's still undefeated in sports. What started as friendly competition has turned into the Browns' most electric storyline of the year. One man's fighting to hold on to relevance, the other's ready to seize it with both hands. The tension is magnetic, the stakes couldn't be higher, and the fans have already picked their favorite. If history tells us anything, we know how this ends. It ends with a Sanders smiling under the stadium lights, the scoreboard doing all the talking. Because Shedeur doesn't chase opportunities, he creates them. And Cleveland might be witnessing the birth of something huge. Dillon can talk, pose, and project confidence all he wants. But deep down, he feels the shift. The coaches sense it. The crowd knows it. Shedeur Sanders isn't here to share the spotlight, he is the spotlight. And that's the beauty of it, he doesn't need to declare a takeover or talk his way into headlines. Every crisp throw, every calm read, every step onto the turf says it louder than words ever could.
Joe Flacco has been traded to the Bengals, so that now makes Shedeur Sanders quarterback too. That's going to make a lot of people happy because after Dillon Gabriel got put to QB1, Joe Flacco was the backup, and Shedeur Sanders was still QB3. So now that they traded Joe Flacco, QB2 would be Shedeur Sanders. Now, I do think it's crazy that people praying on Dillon Gabriel downfall. Not saying they're praying on injuries, but they hope that he don't play good so they can see Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur got a big name, he got a big brand, so people want to see him play.
Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel's still giving interviews about staying focused, pretending he doesn't hear the growing whispers. But it's obvious, the nervous smiles, the sidelong glances, the quiet panic of a man watching his comfort zone vanish. Each week, the pressure tightens. Shedeur's fan base grows louder, cameras swarm his practices, and Cleveland's energy shifts. Technically, Dillon's still QB1, but paper titles don't win games. Talent does. And when that talent carries Deion Sanders' DNA and a chip the size of Colorado, the outcome feels inevitable. The writing's already on the wall. It's only a matter of time before Shedeur turns that QB2 label into a memory. Dillon talked the talk, but Shedeur's walking onto the field ready to change the script one laser-precise throw at a time.